Welcome to this masterclass, The Process. Today we are going to I will walk you through a process that you can do for yourself anytime you maybe feel stuck or if you maybe feel that all wound is rising to the surface and you don't know what to do with it. And just a disclaimer, this is not a substitute for psychotherapy. So if you feel like there is an issue, like there is a wound that is rising that you literally cannot get out of, it would be best to book an individual session with me or some other therapist. I will leave you a link in the description box where you can book a session with me. And also, if you are taking any kind of medication for depression, anxiety, or maybe psychosis, this process might not be as beneficial for you. Okay, so for this process you will need some privacy. It will last for around 30 minutes, so it's best that you have some privacy and that you won't be disturbed. Maybe it's better to maybe move your furniture a little bit, because maybe you will move, maybe not. You will see what comes. And it's best to maybe before you start that you journal a little bit, that you write down some things that you're going through that are maybe bothering you, or if you don't feel like there is a specific issue that you want to work on, but you just want to dive deeper into yourself, you can maybe list out some of the belief systems or images that you have about life, about certain areas of your life, about certain gender, or something that you can bring into this process. So what is this about? The process is about acceptance and acknowledgement of what is. Usually when we feel that we are going through something, we have unconsciously, of course, a lot of defense mechanisms that are helping us navigating through a difficult situation. And as much as these defense mechanism and reaction patterns are here for a reason and they're serving us, they're also protecting us from living fully authentically, from feeling fully alive and present. So that is why the first step is to accept and acknowledge where we are. The second step is to see what that specific issue, what is its form. So since everything is energy, our emotions, our feelings, our wounds are energy, then the question is what kind of form? How do these energies form a certain structure that we then say, okay, I feel like there is never enough for me, or I feel like nobody will ever be there for me, or I feel unworthy, or whatever then the words that we say about it, the words that we give to a certain form. And once we give a word, once we know how to name that, that means that that form is more solidified. So if we could just give it form without going too deep into mental concept around it, what is that connected to, but just give it form with an image, like a mental picture or a fantasy, and see what kind of form is that, what do I see. We can create form with our body, with our movement, and to see how do I form this. So this is maybe a part where we get a little bit playful with this issue. Because once we start thinking about it, oh, nobody was there for me, nobody is there for me, and nobody will be there for me, oh, poor me, and nothing good ever happens to me, we sort of are stuck in this loop. And this pattern then becomes bigger than us. And then our defense mechanisms that are also around a specific wound that are protecting us to fully dive deeper into that wound. Of course, this is our survival mechanism, so that's why I said it is there for a reason. So we're not trying to break defense mechanisms. We're trying to see what else is there. What else is there that can bring me sense of safety, stability, and refuge. So that's why we're also giving it form. And I forgot to mention number one thing that is important for this process, and basically any type of healing, is to have a connection with our essence. And what is our essence? Essence is this deep core of our being, is our essential innermost quality. And we all have that, whether you are aware of it or not in this moment. And even if you're not, just the acknowledgement and understanding that we all have a soul and that we all have an essence, that we all have a consciousness, that we are a conscious beings that are maybe not just conscious as humans, but also conscious as the consciousness itself, as God also. That knowingness and that invitation of that part is very important. Because whether we are aware of it or not as humans, once we invite it and trust in that part and know that that part is here, it will be here. So, but I'm sure that everybody who is here in this process already knows that, already has, in one way or another, connection to your essence. Okay, so once we give this particular belief system, issue, wound a form, then we start moving with it. Because the main premises is that all energy is seeking completion, homeostasis, and resolution. Once we move, and that movement does not have to be, I need to stand up and start shaking, although it can be. But it can also be, if I see a certain image, what is happening? What is this image inviting me to do? So if I see a door, is my impulse saying that I should open it? Or is my impulse saying that I should just stand and wait? So this is already the movement. Or maybe if I stand up and move my body a little bit. And of course, one of the best ways that we can move is by breathing, just by allowing to feel this form and breathing through it. So this is the moment, if we feel that we are stuck, that we are alone and we need a certain support, then we invite our essence, and we can also invite a certain archetypes. Archetypes are basically energies and ideas that we give certain form from our collective unconscious. And the example of archetypes are, let's say, a mother, a divine mother, or a father, or a king, or a phoenix is an archetype. So basically all of these ideas that unconsciously have certain forms. But without going too deep into archetypes, this is the moment where we can invite or feel a certain archetype that is there in support to us, to help us move through this and shift this energy. And then the most important part is to, as we expand, this is the crucial, I would say, part, is that we expand into our light. So this may sound abstract, but once you start feeling it, it will make sense. So we're usually, what we're doing when we have a certain thing that is bothering us, we are squeezing into it. And then, as I said, we're trying to think around it, and then we are just squeezing ourselves even deeper and deeper into that issue. So in order to go beyond, we must expand. And with that, with expansion, we are then allowing our oneness. So we are not projecting ourselves into a universe or a God, but we are allowing the oneness of our soul, of our, so to say, sovereign domain. So we are expanding into our sovereign domain and receiving it. So this is basically what we are going to do. If you have any questions, please write to me. I'm here for you. And also, if you want to share your experience, I'm also here for you. Okay? So now you can pause here and you can maybe write down what is happening with you. Write down some of the belief system, or maybe also if you had a dream, a certain dream that was very vivid or that stayed with you, that maybe left a certain sense, feeling, a certain taste. You can write that one too, and you can also work with that. Or if there is an issue, that if something is happening in your life, just have that clarity, what you will bring. And just one also note that I want to say is that you don't even need to have clarity around that. This is maybe just for the experience, if you're going through this for the first time. But you don't need to have the clarity. You can just sit and allow whatever comes up. And as I said, this is not for something that is acute. So for that, it's better to go on one-on-one session. This is sort of like a support. Okay. Let's start by taking a couple of deep breaths. So just allow yourself to release all of these stories and expectations and issues and whatever stayed in your mind as a story, and just allow yourself, by taking deep breaths, to sink all the way into your body. And just feel whatever is real inside this moment. If you feel tension somewhere, allow it to be. If you feel movement of energy, allow it to be. Just allow everything to be as it is. And breathe. And as you breathe, acknowledge that you are more than just your body, your mind, your humanness. That know that you are your essence. Know that you are God also, that you have that innermost core essential part of you. And invite that part to be there, to guide this process. Know that this part is what brings healing. Not your effort, but rather this gentle part of love inside of you. And allow that part to be present. If you feel it, allow it. Breathe it deeply in. If you don't feel it, that's okay. Know that it is still here. And breathe. And as you breathe and feel your essence, allow yourself to find anchor and grounding. And know that you are not grounding yourself into this matter, but you're rather grounding yourself into your soul. And allow that root to flow from you. And notice in your body, how do you root in your soul? Whatever comes, whether it's a sensation, feeling, or an image. Just allow yourself to notice how do you root yourself. And if you notice that you don't, that's okay, just allow that. That's also an insight. And breathe. Breathing can also be a way of grounding. And allow yourself to feel the presence of your I am. I exist. And in this moment, invite whatever you want to explore in this process. Just invite it to be present. You're not doing anything with it. You're inviting it, and you are sort of like exploring and smelling around it and feeling into it. And see if you can really allow it to be as it is. This step is maybe the most difficult, but it's very important to acknowledge and accept. Now, acceptance does not mean that we agree with something. It's just from the energy perspective. The more that we're resisting and finding something, the bigger it is. Once we accept it, we soften it. So see if you can dive deeper into this, what you call an issue or a problem, and soften it a little bit, and whatever that means. And know that if this process becomes difficult at any point, just breathe in and find your grounding, your anchor again. Come back into your grounding. And just allow yourself to dive a little bit deeper into that what you call an issue, and soften it, accept it. And you can soften it by your breath and by a gentle movement or nourishment, and just allow it to be. It's okay. And acknowledge that this energy is here. And without thinking about the issue, notice how do you perceive it in your body, and where in the body do you feel it? Do you feel it as a tension, heat, emptiness? Do you feel like you want to leave your body? And just notice, how do you perceive that? And as you start perceiving it, how does it manifest? How does it feel? Allow it without any expectations or interference. Allow yourself to feel, what is its form? How does it form this issue? How does it structure? If a certain image comes, allow that image. If a sensation comes, or a movement, or a posture, allow that. Allow that to become part of this time and space. How does this form look like? What is the matter of it? And notice. And play with it. Play with it, with its form. If, for example, you feel like your lack of self-worth, how do you form? How do you structure that self-worth? It can be, I feel like I'm collapsing in my back. And just breathe with that and allow that. It may be, I feel like I'm shrinking myself, and allow that. You can see maybe an image of your childhood and notice, what is the impulse that is there? And allow yourself to follow this impulse. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe and allow that movement of the form to guide you. Allow that impulse to show you the way, to completion. And just breathe with this form. And in this moment, you can use a movement, or maybe if you feel like it's too much, you can rebalance with coming back to your anchor, or use movement to really go even further with this form and breathe. Whatever you do, don't forget to breathe. And the reason why we move is to expand from this. Is not to squeeze ourselves into this form, but to rather expand and allow yourself the movement of energy. And breathe and move. You can use your body to move that part of you, to move that you feel is solidified in this form, that is being squeezed or pulled. And allow yourself to expand. As you move these energies, expand. Just feel your body. If you feel like your mind is going to places, feel your body and expand. And allow yourself to expand even further and further and further. If you feel pain or tension in your body, allow that to expand. Allow this sensation to expand. And expand all the way to other realms, of reality. And in this moment, you expand further into other realms. Allow yourself to invite, if you will, an archetype. Whatever comes, here is the moment to invite an archetype that will support you in this process. And whatever you feel, whatever you see, just allow and accept. And allow yourself to move and expand with this archetype. Allow yourself breath and inner dance, or outer, if you will, with this archetype. this is the moment to move with it, to, if you have any questions, to ask and to receive an answer. Whatever this archetype in this moment has to offer you, just receive it and trust it. And breathe. I will now be quiet for some time so that you have your inner experience. And breathe. And find a way to say thank you for this message, for this experience, and for this presence. This is all your energy. And as you move further, invite your light, feel the light of your soul, your light. And in this realm of light, allow yourself to receive and bathe in this light. Allow yourself to shine this light. This is your light. It's here for you. Just feel and shine your light. notice how it makes you feel when you feel this deep presence of your light. And just shine. This is who you are. You're not trying to do anything. You just do what lights do. You shine. And allow that light to guide you all the way into your oneness, into your consciousness. And breathe. And feel that presence of your consciousness. Of that feeling of self. Feel that oneness of you. And allow yourself to just embrace this stillness of your oneness. Of this inner awareness. I am that I am. And you can say it, I am that I am. Know that when you open your eyes, you will embark on a new reality from the space of your consciousness. And see if you can open your eyes without losing this state, so that you don't need to hide here, but to know that this is who you are. This is this inner creator. And in this moment, allow yourself to embrace all parts of you in this oneness, which stem from this creator. And allow yourself to feel the oneness of your entire being in whatever flavor, color, or expression it might want to embody itself. This is who you are. And when you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes, but stay with yourself and give yourself a couple of more minutes to integrate this experience. If you feel like it's difficult to stay with an open eyes, close them back again. Feel this oneness. And then gently start opening your eyes with a soft gaze, somewhere where you still feel this connection. Allow your gaze to show you. And give yourself a couple of more minutes to integrate before you continue with your day-to-day activities. And thank you for joining me in this process.